Hi, my name is Megan Benavides. Welcome to Learning is Not Quiet. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's begin. We are on Sushi Math Part 2. So instead of going from easy to hard like we will sometimes, we're going to talk about a lot of topics, but all related to sushi and Japanese cooking, because that is our main focus country of the week. So the first one says, pretend you are preparing for a party where you are serving sushi as an appetizer. If you needed to double the sushi recipe that you were given, what would be the amount you would need for each of the ingredients below? Use the units given. So now on your worksheet, so you could be doing this on a sheet of loose leaf paper, getting all those answers and fabulously copying them into the worksheet when you're done. But we're going to go through each of these together. Some of these are really easy to do. Some of them not quite so much. So I'm going to zoom in here. So I wrote down my recipe before I even got started because I knew that was going to be something I have to keep flipping back and forth to. Just like if I'm actually cooking a recipe, I like to have it right in front of me so that I know where I'm going. And the same thing is true with this math problem. Now, some of these are really easy. For example, the fish says it needs 8 ounces. Doubling that, super easy. It's going to be 16 ounces. 8 plus 8 is 16. Cream cheese, 8 ounces, very easy again. 8 plus 8 is 16. That's going to be my answer. Avocado, 6 ounces, super easy. 6 plus 6 is 12. Rice, 3 cups. So I could just write 6 cups, but if I want to be an overachiever, I'm going to show 3, 4, 5, 6 cups, right? And every 2 cups is a pint. So this is going to be 6 cups or 1, 2, 3 pints. Rice wine vinegar is going to be a half cup. You probably don't need to do the math for this, but just as a reminder to show you, if I wanted to add 1/2 plus 1/2, I like to say you add straight across. The denominator stays the same. So I add my numerators straight across. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2. Whenever I have my numerator and denominator the same, it equals 1 whole. So 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole or 1 cup. We're going to ignore the fact that my whiteboard just fell there. You can feel free to laugh at me at home if you feel bored or so inclined. It won't hurt my feelings. So now for our nori or seaweed, we have 0.81. And I forget what the unit is on this, but with decimals, the key thing is that we need to line it up, line it up, line it up at the decimal. So I have my decimal lined up here. Now I need to add straight down. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 8 plus 8 is 16. Drop the 6, carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it looks like my answer here should be 162. But wait, there's more. I need to bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. So my answer here is 1 and 62 hundredths. Fabulous. So let's check our answers. Also, so here's our recipe again. You're going to have to keep going back to that as we go throughout these problems. This is kind of a trick because you have to be a good reader and a good problem solver and good at math. But don't worry about it. I'm going to walk you through it. All right. So now we're working on conversion. And I'll be honest, this is not one of my favorite math topics to cover, but we're going to tackle it together. Let's say we're making this recipe in Japan, one recipe. We wouldn't be using cups or ounces, but rather the metric system. Convert each of the following ingredients to the unit that would be found in the metric system. Note there are 28 grams in an ounce, and I see that, so I'm going to write it down here. 28 grams in an ounce. And then we have 0.24 liters in 1 cup. Super. And there's our recipe again. Whoops. All right. So we're looking here again. I have my ingredients list. All I'm doing is I'm going to be converting this from, going back to my question. Again, never be afraid to go back to that original question. That's a big reason a lot of students get math questions wrong. Isn't really that they don't understand the math, is that they've misread that question or they didn't copy something down correct or something like that. I'm sure that every person watching this video has done that at some point or another. So yeah, convert one recipe. Yeah, so we're not using our double, we're using our one recipe again. All right. So I have this. I have my conversion units. Very important to set yourself up correctly. That is the most important thing. So another tip I have, another song that we sing in my class is 28 grams in an ounce, 16 ounces in a pound, 34 ounces in 1 liter. Customary could be easier. So we're the only ones who still use the customary system, along with a handful of other countries. They would switch if we switched. So that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to start with ones that look pretty easy. No one ever said that you have to go from top to bottom, and I'm seeing some fractions and decimals up here. I want to do those last after we've warmed up a bit. So I'm going to start down here at my fish and my cream cheese. So I know fish and cream cheese are going to be the same because they both have the same measurement. So I have 8 ounces. This is going to be tragic when my marker runs out. Is how many ounces? How many grams? And then we have 28 grams, in 1 ounce. So when I'm setting this up, the key thing that I'm looking for, either when I'm doing this myself or I'm looking at my students' work, is that I have ounces and ounces, grams and grams. So I know that there's 28 grams in an ounce. I could have flipped this around, but the most important thing is that my ounces are both together and my grams are both together. So this is actually just like finding equivalent fractions once you get here. So I go, I'm going to go this way. 1 times 8 is 8. So all I have to do, whatever I do to my numerator, but it's also do to my denominator. So I need to multiply 28 times 8. So I have 8 times 8. I ate and I ate and got stuck on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. Drop the 4, carry the 6. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 6, let's count it together. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So my answer to these first 2 problems down here is going to be 224 grams. Not too bad, right? Again, don't be afraid to look back up at your conversion chart and take this one step at a time. So now I'm going to be doing the same thing, but with 6 ounces. So ounces. So there are 28 grams in 1 ounce. What do I know? Ounces per grams. I know ounces. So this is equal to a certain amount of grams over 6 ounces. And now you see I totally wrote this one backwards, but I'm keeping ounces and ounces together, grams and grams together. So 1 times what is 6? 1 times 6 is 6. Whatever I do to my denominator must also do to my numerator. So now I need to do 28 times 6. And then we can count it out. 8 times 6. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Drop the 8, carry the 4. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So my answer here, 168. I just plug it in where my question mark is, so I know that 6 ounces is 168 grams. So, next one, I'm setting up my proportion. I'm dealing with cups, so I'm going to need this particular conversion thing. So I have 0.24 liters in 1 cup. Now in my question, I know cups, so I'm going to plug 1 cup, 3 cups. I'm going to keep cups and cups together. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I know we wouldn't have decimals in a fraction. This is a proportion, not a fraction, but it works exactly the same. So don't let the confusion of the terminology confuse you. So 1 times 3 is 3. Whatever I do on here, I have to do up here. So now I I need to do 0.24 times 3. Now, hopefully you learned how to multiply decimals throughout this year. I'm going to teach you a quick way to do this. So now I know 0.24 times 3 is my goal. That's what I'm going for. When multiplying a whole number by decimal, we count the digits in the decimal. That's the number of boxes found. So in 0.24, there's 2 digits. So I need 2 boxes here. Put the whole number on the left, the decimal on top. So I put my whole number, which is 3, on the left, my decimal on top. We separate the place value, then stop. So I've said this is 2/10. This is 400. So we separate it by its place value. Multiply each box by the side and top. So now I have 6/10 plus 12/100. If it's over 9, rebundle the box. So this becomes 7/10 and 2/100. So that whole song again, just in case you want to keep it in your toolbox. When multiplying a decimal by a whole number, we count the digits in the decimal. That's the number of boxes found. Put the whole number on the left, the decimal on top. We separate the decimal by its place value, then stop. Multiply each box by the side and top. If it's over 9, rebundle the box. So I have 0.72 or 72 hundredths. All right, we're getting there. See, conversion isn't that bad once you get used to it. Now we got to do our half cup. So we're going to put a fraction in a proportion, which sounds scary, but it's not, I promise. Another way to look at 1/2, and we could do this whole thing, numerator divided by denominator, 1 divided by 2. But most of us should know that 1/2 is equal to 0.5. So I have that is equal to how many liters? 0.5 cups is equal to how many liters? Remember, I got to keep cups with cups, liters with liters. So I know that 0.24 liters is in 1 cup. So now this is a little tricky to see, but 0.5 or 1/2 times 2, and we actually did this in the first question, and there's a reason I put that there so that we'd have it to come back to. So 1/2 times 2 equals 1. So now, kind of to go backwards, I need to divide this by 2, which looks really scary, but I actually see that both of these digits over here are divisible by 2. Now, if you know the whole long division thing, you can go do that right now. All I'm saying is you can also do 4 divided by 2, 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. Boom, our answer is 12 hundredths. So 1/2 cup is equal to 12 hundredths of a liter. Not very much at all. And our last one, and I need to actually see what the units are on this nori. Units are very important. I apologize for all this. Ounces. Conversion units become very important. So I'm going to know again, to set this up, I'm working with ounces and grams. So I know there's 28 grams in an ounce. So 28 grams over 1 ounce is equal to, now I know ounces. Remember, I need to keep ounces and ounces together. So this is going to be 0.81 ounces, question mark, grams. So 1 times 0.18 is equal to 0.18. 28 times 0.18. And I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to show the answer. So pause the screen if you need to. Again, you should be following along. And I have decided I'm going to record another video because this is just too important.